Welcome to Lapis Moon Tarot. This is going to be a reading for the year 2023 coming up. I'm going to be pulling 12 cards, so one tarot card for each month of the new year. And we are going to read what is coming your way, general messages for each of the months, what energies you can use and utilize to your advantage, to call in what you're looking for, to see how you're going to be blessed. And I do hope that this upcoming year will be blessed for you. Um, I wanted to just mention now the cards that I've picked from each of the tarot decks for the piles, they are the Fool card. They also represent the energy of the sign Aries. Now, Aries starts on March 21st, and the reason for that is the first day of spring was traditionally, for many cultures, held as the first day of a new year. So if that resonates with you, as it does for me personally, I find winter is still a time of introspection, reflection, going deep diving, figuring out what to release, what to heal, what you want to still call in. These are, days of long periods of darkness. It's really meant to be for quiet reflection time, for meditation, for prayer. You're not feeling very active in a winter season. So if that resonates with you, then the 12 cards I'll be drawing will start on the first day of spring for you. So that'll start in March. However, if you are drawn more to the man-made calendar, then January will be the first representation of 2023 for you, and the 12 cards will follow the modern calendar, Gregorian calendar, where January to December. So I hope I've explained that properly. Whatever feels most natural to you, whatever feels most normal and most, reflective of your own beliefs, that is how you should take this reading. So I will get started. We have 3 piles for you to choose from. Each of the piles is corresponding to one of my tarot decks. So if you are drawn to pile 1 with this money bowl, now money is something that we traditionally place out on the new year in the first day of spring to, ask for prosperity and abundance for the upcoming year. And the Fool card from this tarot deck looks like that. If you are drawn to pile number 2, this is a bowl of salt with sage, and I have some crystals in here, mostly clear quartz and amethyst, for cleansing your aura, for bringing in enlightenment, for clearing your third eye, tapping into your third eye, your intuition. So if you are drawn to that and to this Fool card, and it's so interesting, actually, I didn't notice this when I placed this card here, but she is actually holding a amethyst crystal in her hand in this card as well. Beautiful. And pile 3, if you are drawn to this Fool card and to the flower, so something to represent beauty and love and all the beautiful things that we hope and wish for into the new year. So I will give you a moment to choose your pile. When you've made your selection, you can go down to the description or the first comment for your timestamp. Pile number 1, if you chose the bowl of money and this Fool card, this will be your reading. I'm going to start by shuffling all of the cards. I will take reversals, and we are going to pull 12 cards for the upcoming 12 months of the new year. Let's see what energies are in store for pile number 1. I'll give that one more good shuffle. Perfect. Okay. So we are going to draw 12 cards for the 12 upcoming months. King of Coins, unbelievable for the money pile. This is a beautiful card starting off for either the month of January or March, however you're reading your new year. The King of Coins is a master at amassing wealth. He is very wise. He is also very generous with his time, with his knowledge, and with his coin. He is making sure that he has enough for all his loved ones, that he's leaving a legacy, that he is taking care of his family. This is a very wise and generous king that has an open hand when it comes to sharing his wealth and his knowledge. So beautiful energy to start off the year with. So whatever you are working hard on, whether it's your career, whether it's a business, maybe an opportunity is coming your way, maybe you're partnering with someone, it is exceptionally blessed, and you are going to utilize all your wisdom and your resources to create something that is long lasting. This is a king and his kingdom. This wealth is very beautiful, very expansive as well. And I just want to mention, I love that they've represented it with a tree taking roots and, plants growing, because when we think of the Pentacle card, it is really rooted in the earth signs. This is Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo energy. And to me, the King of Coins is very much a Taurus. It might also indicate that you are someone who can gain a lot of clarity when it comes to abundance decisions if you're out in nature, if you're taking care of plants, if you are taking care of your property. Those moments, if you do them mindfully when you are taking care of your property, plants, things you're growing, they can bring you a lot of clarity when it comes to your monetary abundance as well. So love that energy for you. Let's put this card all the way over here. Okay. So second month, February. Five of Coins in the reverse. Lovely. We are releasing all of our limiting beliefs around money. We are releasing our limitations that we place on ourselves, our feelings of being left out, like we don't know how to create money, gain wealth. We're being left out in the cold in this card. So if it was in the upright, you're feeling in distress, you're feeling locked out of this warm place where you could have all the things that you want. And it's really a belief system that's causing the blockage. And so I think as you see your business flourish, as this partnership, this business, this career takes off for you, and you start gaining money and becoming more and more successful, you're going to let go of those limiting beliefs that have held you back all this time. That programming you had as a child. Maybe you had limiting beliefs that, people with wealth are bad people, or they aren't kind, they're not generous, they're, miserly, they are not religious or spiritual people. They're so obsessed with amassing wealth, they may not be spiritual enough. All of those things that limit our ability to live abundant lives. And there is nothing that says that you cannot be a very spiritual person who is also abundant, because think of what you can do with that abundance. Think of all of the initiatives you can take, all of the lives you can change, all of the help that you can render, and service that you can be if you are someone who is wealthy and abundant. So I believe those are the limiting beliefs you're leaving behind in February, in the second month. Two of Coins in the reverse. So what this feels like to me is, if this is a partnership for this business, as you let go of your limiting beliefs, you're not going to feel like you need a partner in order to amass your wealth, or feel confident in the way that you do business or make decisions. And so I don't believe this is going to be like a negative fallout. I feel like you're going to learn what you need to learn from the person. And this could be almost like a mentor. And then when you receive that confidence from your business growing, from becoming successful, the business taking off or your career taking off, and you start shedding limiting beliefs, this is a natural progression. And this person is going to wish you well when you go on to do your own thing. They are going to be proud of you. They're going to feel really like a mentor to you, because I feel with this mother and child, it's giving me the impression that she's done her work now, and you can go ahead and stand on your own 2 feet. This also could mean, with the Two of Coins, that you had felt out of balance, for a long time, where you were maybe putting so much effort into work that you were neglecting, your self-care, your family, your other hobbies, your interests, because you were so solely focused on this business thriving. And now that it is, you're also learning to kind of rebalance, to make sure you're not falling into burnout, that you're balancing out all of your interests and your hobbies and fulfillments, right? So it's not just money that fulfills us, it's also love, it's interpersonal relationships, it's hobbies, it's it could be artistic pursuits. So I think you're going to balance that out in the month of March and or the third month, depending on how you're reading this. The Hanged Man on the fourth month and or the month of April. So a forced pause, a forced pause. Okay. So what I'm getting from that card is, and this is a major arcana card, is that you might push it too far with this balancing act that you're trying to keep, and something is going to give in the fourth month where you're going to be forced to pause. So it could be like a obstacle when it comes to maybe growing your business internationally, or taking it, online, or it could be something that's on a personal matter where you have to take care of someone you love, and maybe something that has to do with that relationship, or helping them out in some way. It's going to cause you to pause this drive that you have to amass wealth and kind of almost reevaluate what you value most. And so the hangman doesn't have to be a bad card. Sometimes it's also a card of sacrificing, but it doesn't have to be a sacrifice that is going to be to your detriment. Sometimes it's, God's way of making us pause before we do something where we do lose our health, or we lose, our business, or we lose an important relationship. So take it as that in the month of April, this pause is not a bad situation for you. It's a shakeup to reflect, to see things from a different perspective, and not to be so rigid in the way that you do things. Sometimes it's better to step back and look at the situation from a rested mind, from a reflective mind, from a eagle's eye view. Okay, let's get a fifth card here. Three of Swords, month 5, May. Okay, so the Three of Swords talks about feeling betrayed, having heartache. This is someone who's been deeply hurt by someone they've trusted. Feelings of just absolute, utter, devastating heartbreak is what the Three of Swords talks about. So if we think back now on that hangman, it does look like it might be an interpersonal relationship that maybe we put on the back burner because, we were so focused on gaining this financial abundance, that breakdown of that relationship is causing us a lot of heartache. It's causing us a lot of pain. Um, but the Three of Swords also talks about an opportunity for healing. So, it doesn't have to be the end of the relationship or the end of, that friendship. This is a kind of like a jolt to say, like, that person meant so much to you. Like, if that relationship has deteriorated, or you're no longer on speaking terms, or there's distance between you, the pain that you feel from the absence of that person is kind of an indication of how much they mean to you. And that could be where you self-correct, where this hangman, this pause that, you know, was forced on you. Maybe you didn't take on the opportunity to reflect on that, and now May is really forcing your hand. It's, that person removes themselves from your life, and so now you're feeling the heartache of that separation. So let's take a look for the sixth month, the month of June. Five of Cups. So this talks about really being heartbroken. And I apologize if this is something that nobody wants to hear this type of message, but I have to say what the cards are telling me. This talks about being so hung up on what you no longer have that you no longer see what you do have, which is the two cups behind this person. And so it's about not focusing on what you've lost, but building on what you have. And so absolutely, it's heartbreaking. So take the moment, take the pause that you need to feel those feelings, to feel, and acknowledge and hold space for how much it hurts to lose someone, how much it hurts to have a breakup or a breakdown of a relationship you thought was on solid foundation. But then don't lose sight of what you still have in your life, and build on that. We all have free will. Relationships sometimes they're hard. 10 of Wands in the reverse, beautiful. So where we are now, July, I believe, yes, seventh month. The 10 of Wands in reverse is finally putting down burdens, finally letting go of everything that is not serving us, that is absolutely not necessary, that, is pulling on our energy, on our time, on our emotions. This is someone who is overcommitted, carrying burdens that aren't even their own. You could be, a sensitive person. This could be letting go of wanting to fix things that aren't fixable. You know, this burden that you're putting down here is kind of saying, I can't control what other people do. I can't control the emotions or the actions of others. I can only control my own emotions and my own actions. So this person has chosen to leave. And it's, you know, I've done my grieving. I've done, you know, I've processed my emotions. I felt my feelings. And now it's time for me to put down that burden because it's not for me to carry and to move on. And that's, you know, that's beautiful energy to go through. This is really like an arc, this story that's playing out here. Let's get another card here. Yeah, this one. August or the eighth month. The Devil in Reverse. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. Okay, so this is talking about no longer letting addictive behaviors dictate our lives. So this relationship, it could have been like an on and off thing where this person might have been maybe, you know, a little bit manipulative. They were not always honest maybe with you, or manipulative of your feelings, you know, making you do things even if you didn't feel like it, but you were so addicted to their energy, their the care they were showing you, the love they were showing you, even if it, you know, somewhere deep down you felt like it wasn't good for you, you know, it wasn't fulfilling, it wasn't reciprocal, it felt a little bit on the shallow end. It felt like you couldn't completely be yourself, but you were so enamored with them and their charisma and their you know, the way they made you feel. You know, this is almost like a narcissist, you know, that kind of love bombs you, and so you keep coming back to them, you know, and then playing out that cycle. But I finally, you're letting that go. You're kind of wise to it, and so you're saying no more of these shackles, no more of these chains that are holding me down, that are forcing me to replay a cycle that I don't want to play anymore. I'm past this now. And so the Devil in Reverse is literally breaking those chains of addiction to this person and moving on, which is beautiful energy. So where are we at now? So is that 4 and 4? Yeah. So August. So we got September and October, November, December. Okay, let's make a little bit more room down here. Okay. Page of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so for September, a page is a messenger. And with the swords, it usually talks about, you know, a teacher coming your way, some type of knowledge coming your way that is really um, you really get invested in, like it really calls to you. The intellectual gains that you make from studying this, from investing your time and energy in it, is really beautiful. But in the reverse, it says that you're still a little bit scattered. Your energy is a little scattered, your mind's a little scattered, you're maybe starting a lot of new things and you're not focusing fully on finishing the task at hand, right? So, and that's okay. Sometimes, you know, we need to try a lot of different things to figure out what we want to do. And it could be because of the ending here, you're kind of trying something fresh and new. You know, these could be like you exploring different ways to, you know, heal from narcissistic abuse, or have some therapy or some release or some understanding. Because of the Page of Swords, this talks about getting clarity and knowledge as well. So maybe you're, you know, trying to gain more insight on the behavior and the cycles that got you to being in that relationship so that you don't repeat them. But you're still a little bit scattered, and that's totally understandable. You're, you know, you're also still healing emotionally from that. So you can't fault yourself for that. The World in the reverse. Okay. So we're talking about October. Now, the World in the upright, it's learning past lessons and leveling up. You know, this is the completion card. Like the Fool is the beginning card with card 0. The World card is 21. This happens to the person from that beginning journey of the Fool, goes through all of the major arcanas to get to the World, because now they are wiser. They have, you know, gone through this journey. They've learned the lessons they wanted to learn and needed to learn, and they level up and they go right back to the beginning of the journey and start all over again. But in the reverse, you know, this just talks about there's just a bit more for you to learn. There's a little bit more for you to work on and work through before you can release this cycle. Yeah, yeah. And that might be why the Page of Swords, you know, you're looking for the answers still. You're still finding yourself, finding, you know, your truths, finding your healing. And that's why it's not, you know, quite complete yet in October, but definitely on the path there, you know, definitely asking the questions now, you know, being more introspective, being more mindful of how you feel, how you react to things, why you do the things you do. You know, this is still a beautiful journey to be on. in November. King of Swords in the reverse. So the King of Swords, you know, he's very astute, mentally astute. He looks for clarity. He looks for truth. And in the reverse, I feel like you're almost still kind of trying to work out the truth of the situation, get, you know, total clarity and understanding on what happened. And here's what I'm going to say about that. Okay. Take it if it resonates. But it feels like you're trying to intellectualize something that is meant to be felt emotionally. So instead of wanting to feel your feelings or the heartache or the heartbreak, or realizing that maybe this person you put your trust in didn't really live up to the expectations you had of a relationship or a friendship, and they just kind of disappointed you, but it was also, you know, they were able to do that to you because of you allowing them, you know, not seeing the red flags, not acting on things that didn't feel right, you know, not listening to your intuition, not listening to those pings of like, hey, this doesn't feel right. Like this person's kind of like wish-washy or shady, or why do they constantly, why is this relationship so difficult? We keep going through these patterns of highs and lows. Like every relationship has that, but it shouldn't be like huge peaks and then big lows, you know, and then they shouldn't be love bombing you to try to get you back and manipulating you, you know, for your good intentions and towards a relationship. So I feel like you're still trying to gain that clarity, but sometimes when we intellectualize something like this too much, you know, sometimes there are no answers. Sometimes it's just, you know, it is what it is. Like the person, that's where they are on their journey. They haven't maybe had the introspection or the growth or the self-awareness to understand what they're doing, um, and how their behaving affects other people and how it affected you. And so you may never get the clarity you need because you two are not on the same level. You're moving on ahead, you're breaking patterns, you're letting go of burdens, you know, this beautiful card that you started off with the King of Coins, you know, you're amassing your wealth, you're still doing all of the things that you want to manifest in this life, in this, you know, upcoming year. And so I feel like because you're successful in so many different things and this one thing was just bugging you, like you can't let it go, and you keep trying to figure it out, you know, but sometimes you just can't, like you just have to let it go and move on, you know, and almost like write yourself the apology letter that you needed from the other person and pretend kind of like, you know, they sent it to you, like apologizing for how they behaved and how they manipulated you or hurt you, and then you just move on. That's that's what I'm getting from that card. Okay, let's get you for the month of, so where are we? October, November. Sorry, I have to do it in French. So, oh, are we done? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Last one. Three of Coins. Beautiful card. Beautiful card to round it out. Okay, love this. Three of Coins talks about a partnership that is very blessed for abundance. So this is meeting other people who are like-minded, who are on the same path as you, you know, they see the same vision as you do. They want to collaborate with you and build something beautiful. So this business mind that you have, that you're so astute, that you are so blessed in, it's going to bring you an amazing collaboration that is going to be very fruitful and prosperous for all of the involved parties. So that's a great way to end the year, honestly. You know, I see this arc, I see that on a personal relationship point of view, like you are growing because you're letting go of holding the responsibility, the full responsibility for a relationship. You're understanding it takes two people, and the addictions you might have had to that person or to even, you know, relationships, you know, as a whole, like maybe always needing to be in a relationship. You're letting go of that. And you're trying to get closure on that part of yourself, insight on it, you know, clarity on it. But while you're doing that work, your business side, your business acumen, your prosperity, it is blooming. You know, that is really lovely. Like it really speaks to how complex we are as human beings, where, you know, we can do so many amazing things, even when there's obstacles in our way. You know, you're a very resilient person. I want to say you probably do have Capricorn prominently in your chart. You know, if that resonates. Just, yeah, just from these cards. Very lovely. Let's get you some oracle cards as well. Okay, what deck do I want to use? This one. Okay. This is the Sacred Destiny Oracle. Patience in the reverse, okay? Okay. Anything else that might come out? That's too many. Let's just see one also. Okay, perfect. Delight. Okay. All right. So in the patience and the delight in the reverse, I think this is really the formula. It's like you don't want to be paused. You didn't want that hangman. You didn't want things that are obstacles in your way that are, denying you of what you want, are making you pause and reflect. And so, the patience in the reverse, it really kind of speaks to that to me. Like you're someone who is really go, go, go. When you have a goal in mind, when you have a task in mind, you just want to get it done. So that is something that is being kind of shown to work on your patience, to work on um, understanding that timing sometimes is not in our hands. It's mostly out of our hands, actually, but divine timing is always perfect for us. So if something is denied right now, it's for our protection, it's for our greatest good because the timing is off. And when it does finally come, that delight, that, you know, amazement to understanding how this could have possibly come about in the way that it did, how all the pieces just fit, beautifully, where you met the right people at the right time with the right opportunity. It is really a delight. It's like amazing to experience how timing and divine timing especially can affect our lives in such magical ways. So I do see that coming for you, that kind of understanding coming your way. Let's get you some more here. I'm going to get you a message here. Oh, group. Let's get any. Group number 1. Beautiful. Connect with your soul family. This could be also what this 3 of coins is talking about. It could be these people who are so on the same page as you, who work so well with you, who kind of everything falls into alignment and you guys become so successful together. These could be your soul family. These could be people that really understand you at a soul level. Like you were, like when you meet them, you feel like you've known them your whole life. You guys are so on the same page. You have the same visions. You have the same drive. You're just very attuned to one another. And the synergy of the 3 of you coming together is so blessed. It's so abundant. That's another message I'm getting here for you, which is quite lovely. Let's get you a healing card, especially because of these middle cards with the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. Okay. Cat's Claw Purification, and it came out in the reverse. I'm actually going to read that from the book. Interesting. Number 25. In the reverse, feeling displaced, disconnected from heritage, dark behaviors, feeling a sense of shame, regret, and loneliness. This is ruled by Mars and Pluto. Mars is a very direct energy. This talks about, action-oriented, ready to face the challenge, forging forward, which is your energy. I get that with not wanting to be patient, not wanting to wait it out, wanting the outcome to happen now. And Pluto is really interesting. Pluto is the planet of death in rebirth. It rules the sign of Scorpio, so you might have Scorpio in your chart as well. And Scorpios are deep feeling. These are signs when, especially when it comes to love and partnership, they dive deep very fast. And so I find relationships are interesting for Scorpios throughout their lives, because they fall so deeply and because they want so much, openness and honesty in a relationship. They feel very quickly betrayed if that honesty is betrayed. If there is lies or secrets in a relationship, that's the fastest way to lose a Scorpio. So this purification card, it really speaks to me about why this world card is in the reverse, why the journey is still not fully completed. It's because you're still working on figuring out why it is that this relationship failed, but also learning about your own patterning when it comes to relationships, feeling almost codependent on a relationship, needing that for fulfillment. And there's nothing wrong with finding fulfillment in a relationship, but it's got to be with the right person. And you're getting that in these 2 months. I see that with breaking the chains and putting down the burdens. And this burden could also be putting down shame as well, which this card talks about, a sense of shame and regret, for the failed relationship. So here's the guidance. Cat's Claw blesses us with the power of purifying our sacred essence, our blood and DNA. Allow its purification powers to help you identify the biological and spiritual patterns passed down from your ancestors that you choose and want freedom from. Whether hereditary illness or intergenerational trauma, Black Panther's medicine aligns with Cat's Claw, allowing us to face our shadows and dark behaviors with curiosity, right? Being introspective about it. Darkness is the place for seeking and finding answers and for assessing the hidden light of truth. Black Panther teaches us how the journey within is encoded with information for healing. Small-mindedness, shame, disappointment, and unworthiness are all shadowy aspects inside of us, but do not succumb to them. Befriend the silence of the dark void. Channel the mastery embedded deep within your shadows. Don't hold back. Beautiful. Okay, let's get you one final message here. Group number 1. Very interesting reading. Orange Blossom, enthusiasm. The best can be here. Believe it. Love that. Love that. What a beautiful message to go into the new year with. Enthusiasm. Exactly. I hope this message resonated. If it did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you so feel inclined, go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more pick a card readings. Pile number 2. If you chose this Fool card, and this bowl of salt and sage amethyst for cleansing, for purifying, for enlightenment, with the amethyst being held by the Fool card as well. Amazing. This will be your reading for the upcoming 12 months of 2023. So if you're reading these for January to December, amazing. If you're starting off on March 21st for the new year, then your first month will be the month of March. Okay. Starting off the new year for pile number 2, we are going to pull 12 cards, and each card will correspond to a month. Give these a good shuffle. Okay. Okay. Let's get started. Month 1 or January, amazing already. Starting off strong, pile number 2. So, judgment. This is shedding your outer layer. This is a rebirth into your true essence. No longer being afraid to hide behind a mask, hide to please others, hide to conform. This is you letting your true essence shine through, and truly is a rebirth. So what a beautiful way to start off the year. Lovely, lovely card. Judgment. Great. Month 2, February, Knight of Pentacles, beautiful energy. This is talking about being really focused and steady and consistent and how you are going to earn your abundance, earn your income. So the Knight of Pentacles, he's one of the slowest moving knights. I mean, he's not even on his horse, he's walking, but it's that very slow and steady wins the right race type of energy where it is long lasting. These are seeds that he is sowing that are long lasting, that are going to carry him, into the long future. He's really focused on a beautiful future for himself, for his loved ones. And he's not afraid to do the work now that he's going to reap later. So he's understood that part of life, do the work now so that you can reap it later. This can also mean a windfall. So there might be some type of situation where money just falls on your lap, which is really beautiful. And it's always great to have that optimism when you're thinking about abundance, how it can really just come out of nowhere. And that's one of the readings of the Knight of Pentacles. So really beautiful for month 2 or February, depending on how you're looking at this reading. Month 3, March, 3 of Swords, healing. And this is healing deep wounds. This is betrayal. This is heartbreak. I mean, this person is going through it, right? She has felt, or he has felt, deep wounding by another person. But I feel, because of this rebirth, because of your focus and diligence in building something beautiful that's also going to bring you prosperity, that beautiful focus, that intentionality, mindfulness in doing good work is also healing your heart. It's also giving you self-worth. It's giving you pride in the work that you're doing, pride in the healing that you've done, pride in the shedding of things that didn't serve you anymore. And that can be very liberating as well. So I see that for you for month 3 and March. And I love that it's actually 3-3. So I didn't notice that. Month 3, March, number 3 card here. Beautiful. April or month 4, the Chariot in the reverse. Okay, so we're doing a pause here. And you know what? I can get why, because you're healing, like give yourself the time, give yourself the space to hold those feelings, to feel through them, to process the hurt, to process the trauma, and not feel like you always have to be go, go, go. Your energy is very relaxed, it's very chill. This is Knight of Pentacles, is really slow moving, this rebirth into who you are. That's very introspective, that's very meditative, going to prayer, going to meditation, doing maybe therapy work, uh, looking at our patterning, our thoughts, um, all of those things. These are slow moving themes coming up in your new year, so it makes sense to me that it's a pause. It's not like how do I put this? It's not a defeat. I just feel like you need this time to be restful. You need this time to be slow. You can't have lots of things and busyness and pulling on your time. You need time for yourself to reflect and to heal. And that's absolutely necessary. That's absolutely okay. We're not always meant to be in a rush, always productive. That's the word I wanted to say. We're not always meant to be productive. The healing needs rest and time. 5 of Pentacles, oh, that's so crazy. You're so aligned with your numbers. May or the 5th month. So this is feeling like you're being left out in the cold. And because I feel you're healing yourself in the sense of your self-worth and your work ethic and gaining prosperity. I don't feel this is necessarily money related, more of your self-worth in relationships, in how you show up in relationships. This could, talk about a little bit of codependency, of giving too much in a relationship, not receiving enough. So you're feeling like you're left out in the cold. You're not being held and nurtured and understood the way that you need to be in a relationship. But the key to get out of this situation is right there. It is in your hands. It is in your power to reprogram this maybe dependency on another person to heal you, perhaps, repeating um, bad decisions, bad cycles within relationships. So this pause is absolutely necessary to reflect on that, to do this healing, once and for all, kind of like dig out the root of why um, your past relationships might have fallen, through, why the heartache, the betrayal feelings, that could sometimes stem even from childhood. Maybe we didn't have good role models for what a healthy relationship looks like, and a lot of parents, are just doing the best they can with what very limited perceptions they had of healing and psychology and, trauma healing themselves. And then they had children, and then there was, a rush to try to manage careers and raise children. And so a lot of people didn't have the resources or the information they needed to do their own healing, let alone not pass down those traumas to their children. And so that's something to maybe look into, this feeling out in the cold. Okay, I'm gonna leave that at that. Beautiful strength card. I love this for you. So month 6, June. This is stepping into your courage. This is you saying my self-worth is more important and is actually, it is important. Let's put it that way. My self-worth is important. It is, your dignity. It is how people treat you. It is how the vibe you put out when you're entering a room so that people look at you as someone who is courageous, who is charismatic, who, they want to be around you and treat you well and treat you with respect. And I believe that's the strength that you're embodying in the month of June. It's this inner strength. It is this courageous inner healing that you're doing, looking at all your shadow sides and saying, enough of repeating this cycle. I want something new. I want something better for myself. And as you do that, and as you shed, programmed beliefs, limiting beliefs around your self-worth or around what a relationship should look like, around healthy boundaries, you step more and more into this beautiful strength card. I love this. This is also Leo energy. You might have Leo in your chart, but not necessarily, but this is very much embodying that beautiful charisma and courageousness as the Leo kind of embodies. Love that. Okay, beautiful. Let's look at month 7. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, this is July. This is talking about you have been invested in maybe the study of something new. Maybe you're looking over a business plan, a contract of some kind in July. Is this July? Yeah, July. In July. And I love that this is actually 8-8, double eights coming up back to back too. You're looking at this contract, you're looking over, maybe this is a deal that you're signing, maybe you're starting a new business, but it's kind of warning you to really pay attention to the details, really read the fine print, maybe also reassess whether this thing you're studying, whether this new endeavor you want to start is in alignment with what you want to do. It's, fulfilling you. It's not just to like pay the bills and make money. It's actually something you are excited to learn about, or to to start a new business that you're really enthusiastic about. So just a little bit of a warning there to look at the fine print and also kind of really assess your reasons, your whys for starting this business. Okay. Six of Pentacles, right? Because what I see in the following month, in the month of August, is that you're maybe having a hard time asking for help, a hard time asking for maybe an investment that you need for this business, or that you're giving too much into it and you're not getting enough back. And this is a 6 card, but there is definitely an 8 in this card too. 888. I would maybe look into what the meaning of angel number 888 means. But this is definitely telling me that there's something about this business deal, or this field you're studying, or this contract you're reading over, that's not quite fair, that's not quite reciprocal, and to look deeply into that. So that's the month of August. Let's look at September, or the 9th month. Ace of Wands in the reverse. So yes, this is why this came up for me too. The passion, it's not there. So Ace of Wands talks about, having insight, having a passion come to you. This is given to you by God, by the universe. This is a new passion, a new idea that just really speaks to your soul. But in the reverse, I feel like it doesn't speak to your soul. Like, it's not as, in the beginning, it could have looked like a shiny, like glamorous, attractive thing. And now that you're looking more into it, now that you've kind of studied it a bit, you're not finding that it is actually what you thought it was. And you're letting it go. Like, the passion is literally fizzling out. That's the image that I'm getting. It's like this flame just fizzling out. Like, no, no thanks, not for me. So that might be happening in the month of August. Oh, sorry, September for you. So let's look at October. 9 of Swords in the reverse. So you might have had a lot of sleepless nights over this business venture, this opportunity, this contract that's coming up for you to sign. And in the month of October, you're finally kind of letting go of all the stress, because you're realizing that, you know what, it's not actually something I want to do. So it shouldn't feel so hard. What is meant for us, what is in alignment for us, usually feels really good most of the time. Yes, you can have obstacles and, tests of faith that come through, but for the most part, you should feel excited and enthusiastic for starting something new. It should feel like a passion. And so when it doesn't feel that way, it's a sign that you're not in alignment, that it's not for you. Even if it's the best opportunity that you've ever heard, that is amazing, if it doesn't feel good, then it's most likely not for you. And so you're letting go of all the stress and sleepless nights that you've had over trying to make this work, because you're releasing it. You're saying, yeah, okay, I realize it now. It's not for me. I'm going to move on. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah. So again, Ace and Ace. So a new beginning, but you're saying this opportunity is not for me. It's too stressful. It's too many unknowns. It's giving me anxiety. I can't sleep. So in the month of November, you're letting go of that opportunity in order to open yourself for something that is more in alignment for you. So beautiful. And I just want to make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. Okay. I should have kind of numbered my table so that this wouldn't feel so, um, so I have to count them every time to make sure I'm on the right month. Okay, all right. The more you do, the more you learn, right? So final card for December or the 12th month, and number 12 again. Wow, you are very much, you must be someone who sees a lot of number synchronicities. Like you see, 888 a lot, or 1111 a lot, 333 a lot. Like you just feel like someone like that, every time you're looking at a clock, it's always like a synchronized number. Um, the Hangman in the reverse. Okay, so this is talking about a forced pause. So because this is no longer what you want to do, and it was causing you so much stress, and you let this opportunity go, it is a forced pause in that way, where you let go of something, and now there's a void, right? So there's nothingness. There's a pause. You have to figure out what you want to do now. But that is the best position to call in what you really want. This person, yes, she was forced to be in this paused position. She didn't, in the upright, it's kind of like the hangman. Okay, I have to be in this hangman position for a little bit because I need to reflect and gain different perspective on my situation so that I'm enlightened and make a decision from a place of enlightenment and knowledge. In the reverse, it makes me feel like you didn't want this pause. You really did want to go forward, but everything, all your instinct, all your intuition was telling you that this is not for you, and you really dislike the fact that you didn't go for it, or you couldn't go for it because you knew in the depths of your heart that this wasn't meant for you. And so that's why this feels like a forced pause, and you're just not happy about it. So, but one thing I can say is that if you take this opportunity for this pause to now reevaluate with all that you've learned, and make choices from a place of enlightenment, of knowledge now, of understanding that just because this opportunity fell through doesn't mean that no new opportunity is coming for you. Being in a void is actually the ripest place to be for bringing in new opportunities. You're in this beautiful vortex, basically, where any possibility can come your way, but it's all about the vibe you put out. It's all about the energy you put out. So if you feel like, hey, I'm so frustrated with my situation, I'm frustrated with this, this pause, this delay, this obstacle that's come my way, then you may not bring about the best situations for yourself. But if you flip this around and say, this pause is absolutely necessary for me to reevaluate what really matters to me and what I do want to call in into my life, then see how that energy feels different. It feels lighter. It feels like you are calling in something that is in agreement to this, beginning card, where you were shedding all the layers and shedding all the things that weren't the real you, and trying to live a more authentic life. And that's what we're going to be calling in for the end of the year for 2023. Let's get you some healing cards here, because I want you to be, with the Three of Swords and healing that betrayal, and then the Five of Swords as well, and then this disappointment over this opportunity not being exactly what you wanted. I just want to get you a little bit more in regards to healing. Pile number 2. And the salt and purity, this could be a protection as well. Getting that gut feeling, that intuitive hit where this contract, this business opportunity is not for you. And it's every other card after that talks about how it's not within your passion. It's not going to bring you prosperity. It's bringing you stress. So when you let it go, you are able to sleep again. Like, it truly feels like God's protection. Okay. Group number 2. Let's get to a healing card. Group number 2. Retreat. Wow. Reishi. Amazing. And ruled by Jupiter and the Sun. Absolutely beautiful. Just taking in this card. So Reishi is a mushroom, of course. The retreat really feels, because even at the end of the next year, that's going to be winter. To me, winter is always about introspection, about going for rest and going inward and reflecting, so that you are now making decisions from a place of true reflection and enlightenment and knowledge, so that it's very expansive. The next steps you take coming from a place of knowledge, of wisdom, are going to feel very blessed, because you did the work, you reflected and you shed all the things that weren't working, and you're going to highlight the things that were working, like, you know, being your true self, being hardworking and determined and steadfast in your projects, in your work, you know, making sure that you're standing in your self-worth and your courage, in your charisma to attract all the, you know, opportunities that are meant for you. So I love this card for you. Let's get that from the book. Number 27, in the upright, retreat. Retreat, recovery, meditation, hibernation, spiritual contemplation, replenishment of spirit. Beautiful. What is the guidance? Pause. Yup, the hangman. It's time for renewal. If you feel overwhelmed or mentally overloaded, it's time to retreat. Take the time to recuperate and recharge, and personal growth will follow. Overstimulation and indecision lead to a sense of weakness, imprisonment, and the feeling that you are evading death. Like a bear, hibernate or rest before you take the next project or challenge. Many Native American tribes have called this space of inner contemplation the Dream Lodge, a place where to witness death and to see beyond the confines of physical reality by visiting the dream time. Create space to be in silence and calm. The internet chatter. Reflection is key to the path of self-mastery. Oh my goodness, that's exactly what we were talking about with this hangman. And you know what? Nothing says you can't do that now. Why wait till December? You know, you can, this is the month of December too. This could be almost like a foreshadowing. Like you could get ahead of yourself by doing this work now, by using the winter months, as I was saying in the introduction. You know, to me, the first day of the year is really truly spring. It's March 21st to me. So take the winter months for this retreat, for this hibernation, this self-reflection. So you kind of almost avoid a lot of this, how do I put this, work, you know, this learning the lesson through the hard way by actually trying something and failing out at it, or feeling disappointed by it, feeling disappointed by forced pauses in your life or forced obstacles that are really protecting you, as we talked about with the salt. But if you do this time now, if you put in this work now, you know, this could all change. This outcome could all change. The spread could all change for you. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to get you some more because this is really interesting. Pile number 2. Pile number 2. See if there are any other cards that want to come out. Pile number 2. Fulfillment. Yep, that should be the goal. Everything, every decision, every, you know, even this retreat, the self-reflection, the motivation should always be, I want fulfillment. You know, I want to reap the benefits of living a fulfilled life, an abundant life, one that's rich with amazing experiences, self-reflection, knowledge, you know, things that I want to bring about in this life, experiences I want to bring about in this life that you know, give me fulfillment. Just looking around because I want to give you a little bit more. Let's get you. This is the Sacred Self-Care Oracle deck. And just to maybe, if you're, you know, feeling called, you can follow the advice that comes out here for you on how you can best attain your fulfillment and use this retreat time to make progress, to call in the healing, the introspection that you require. Wow. Meditation. Yep. That'll do it. Be still. Oh my God. I don't know how much clearer your guides, your angels, this reading can be about what you need to do right now to reflect on your healing. And this came out. Watch a movie. I kind of love that. You know, this feels like being cozy. You know, it feels like the winter months, as I was saying, are not a time to be out and about and doing a million things. This is a time to feel cozy. You know, I love how she's got her cup of tea or coffee, whatever you drink. You know, she's curled up with her cat. She's under a blanket. And it could be that the messages that, you know, you need to hear right now might come through in this movie. You know, sometimes it works that way where your guides, your angels, when they're trying to give you a message, when they're trying to reach you, they might reach you through, you know, a line in the movie or music that plays in the movie, and then you can't let it go. You know, it repeats in your mind. You go and read the lyrics, and suddenly you have like an epiphany on that. But beautiful. So meditate, be still, and watch a movie. That's your guide basically on how to gain your fulfillment. And this retreat, this retreat card, you know, it's all about meditate and be still. I'm gonna get you one last message. Group number 2. All right. Red Rose Courage. Wow. Right back to this strength card. Courage. Be brave, be strong, believe. Beautiful. You should, you are brave. This journey that you're on for self-discovery, for this rebirth where you take off the mask and you expose to the world who you truly are, that is very brave. That's why there's so many, like, your major arcana cards are lovely. This be brave and this strength card, yes, the chariot came out in the reverse, but it's only because your guidance is to be still. So that is what it is. The chariot in reverse is to be still, is to have a pause. Same thing with the hangman. It's everything is so cohesive. Like, I just really love your cards. I hope this resonated, and if it did, please go ahead and give me a like. And if you so feel called to, go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more pick a card readings. Pile number 3, if you picked this rose and this Fool card, this will be your reading. So we are going to shuffle these cards really well. We're going to take reversals in this reading. And I'm going to pick 12 cards for the upcoming year. So if you follow the regular calendar, your first month will be January. If you are called to follow March 21st as the first day of the new year, the first day of spring, then your first month will be the month of March. Okay. Let's see what messages want to come through for your year ahead. Group number 3. So I'm going to pick 12 cards. Okay. Wow, starting off strong. King of Cups, month of January or March, depending on how you read the new year. Beautiful card. This is now it's a masculine card, but we all embody masculine energy. So this doesn't mean that you have to be a man or a woman. This is the masculine energy of someone who is a master of their emotions. They use them for as a strength, as a superpower. They're empathetic and caring, but they also have boundaries. They're very sensitive. They hold space for you emotionally, or you hold space for yourself emotionally. This is someone who's very compassionate. So I feel you're starting this new year with all of the compassion, the feelings of love and of high vibration towards yourself. You're filling your own cup, and you're leading as example how when you fill your own cup first, you actually have more to give to others. We have this trend in the society that says, like, we need to fill everybody else's cup. We have to be responsible for other people's emotions, especially when we're an empath. We're very caring to begin with, and so that can really be used against us. We need to almost reprogram ourselves to say, I fill my own cup first. I give myself my own compassion first. I give myself my own love and respect and care for my emotional state first. And when I am, high vibration, I have surplus, I give of my surplus to others. And, that is a beautiful way to start the new year. That gaining that understanding, knowing your feelings, your emotions are your superpower. On to February, Page of Swords in the reverse. So a page is a messenger, and there could be something that's intellectual. You're learning something new. There's maybe an opportunity with your work, or something to do with higher education, maybe a new learning modality. But because it's in the reverse, you're not jumping on the opportunity. You're feeling either not motivated or kind of spread thin already. You've got so many different interests that you're not able to fully focus and complete this task or this opportunity or this learning. So something to look into, something to maybe just reflect on when you're entering the month of February. It could be that you're also overcommitted. So if you're really excited and wanting to learn different things, maybe make sure that you're kind of planning your schedule around making time for each thing, or looking at everything and then only picking your top favorite things to learn or to commit time to, so that you don't feel this chaotic energy of not finishing anything, starting a lot of different things but not completing them. All right, month 3, or this would be so March, April, May. All right, so March or May. 10 of Swords in the reverse. That's so beautiful. I love that for you. This is recovering from just emotional draining, mentally draining trauma events in your life, people in your life. You're finally pulling, like this person is literally has 10 swords in their back and they're laying flat. So in the upright, this is a 10 of swords, talks about an ending. So this talks about um, finally coming to an end of a painful cycle in your life. But in the reverse, it talks about also you're learning the lessons. It's ended now, it's finished, but you're already on the road to healing and recovery. And you know, not only ending the cycle, but you're already moving on. This sun that is rising in the background of this card talks about how after that ending, there's a new beginning, and it's illuminated for you. You've learned lessons. You've learned, you've gained wisdom from the experiences that you've had. You're not going to repeat them. This was too painful. There's no need to go back and revisit painful situations and recycle through them, ending that cycle. We're done, right? Knight of Cups. Oh, I love this. So month 4, April, beautiful. Knight of Cups is someone coming your way that is very sincere. They're holding their heart on their sleeve. So if you are single, this could mean a new person that you're going to meet that is going to be very sensitive. They're going to hold space for your feelings. They're going to be very sincere in their feelings towards you, and like this very earnest and open person is almost going to catch you off guard. If you're in a relationship, this can mean a deepening of the relationship, really connecting on an emotional level with your partner. Very, very sweet. Like, they just become more romantic towards you. Like, it's very, very sweet. Or you become romantic towards them as well. I mean, it can go both ways. Romance is a two-way street. So let's see here. Such lovely energy. Love that. Oh, Queen of Swords. Very nice. Okay. So after this Page of Swords in the reverse nonsense, I feel like you've gained some insight, some knowledge, some perspective on how you can best utilize your time and your energy. And you become this Queen of Swords energy of, gaining knowledge. She's very astute. She's very discerning. She's looking for truth. And so you're kind of embodying that. You're kind of getting into a mode of setting out clear goals for yourself, being very clear about your intentions, how you're going to get there, strategizing, being smart about it, working smart, not working hard. And what I love about this card too is that the Queen of Swords, she is in a storm, but it doesn't phase her. Even in a storm, she looks for clarity and clear-mindedness and holds her vision. And so, I think you're kind of starting to master your emotions and your intellect, because this King of Cups doesn't let himself get overwhelmed by his emotions, and neither does this Queen of Swords. He uses his emotions as a superpower, and she uses her intellect as a superpower. So this is beautiful energy coming together. King and a queen, you're high in the suits, right? So you're becoming a master at these things. Very lovely energy. Okay. Judgment in the reverse. So where are we now? This was the 5th card, right? So we are in June, 6th month. So Judgment in the reverse, still having some doubts, still learning some lessons, and that's okay. That's life. I mean, nobody learns everything within a 6-month span. This is constantly a learning lesson, a growth that we go through in life as we have new experiences, as we try new things. And so it's kind of, don't feel like any failures or any disappointments that might occur to you in this month of June are holding you back or a reflection of who you are. They're just, learning lessons. They're just learning points. This is a bump in the road. This is not meant to feel like the world is crashing down on you, So I really hope that you don't let it shake your confidence, because with the king and the queen here, with your love, with being held in a very loving and sensitive relationship, the healing that you've done up to this point, like all of that is very powerful. So don't let little disappointments, obstacles in your path or things that might have fallen through, plans that have fallen through, make you self-doubt your worth and make you self-doubt your abilities. So that's, just a little bit of a message that's coming through there for the month of June. The month of July, Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So the reason why I say it's really important not let yourself, spiral down into thinking that you can't trust your own judgment, or thinking that, doubting yourself, is because there's going to be an opportunity that's going to come your way in July. And if you are in this mode of doubting yourself or thinking you're not good enough or having self-worth issues, that opportunity is going to pass you by. And an Ace of Pentacles, it's an opportunity that's coming to you from God, from the universe. It's just going to fall on your lap. It's going to come out of nowhere. And if you're so hung up on thinking that, I can't believe the last thing failed, focus solely on that project that you may have really wanted to work out not working out, you might get blindsided, blinded to this opportunity, so that it just comes and goes and you don't even realize that you've missed this amazing opportunity to start something new and fresh that would be financially beneficial to you. Okay. I think we're in August now. 10 of Pentacles. I love this. Okay, I feel like you're hearing me because I feel like you're going to, in July, when this hits, when this disappointment hits, I think you're going to remember this reading and not let yourself spiral out, so that you do jump on this opportunity. Because what I see here with this 10 of Pentacles, this is beautiful. So we talked about tens being completion cards, the end of the journey when it comes to the numbered cards, right? This is the type of wealth you're going to build, is going to be the type where you can leave an inheritance for your children, a legacy for them. This is that type of wealth. So whatever this idea, this opportunity is, if you jump on it and you grow it, this can become a beautifully synchronized, with your life, in alignment with your life, fulfilling opportunity, not only for monetary abundance, but the 10 of Pentacles talks about leaving money for your children. So this, if that's something that calls to you, having a family, having children, having loved ones around you, this is a prosperous family. This is not just having the wealth just for yourself. This is sharing it with the people that you love, whatever family means to you. So beautiful, beautiful card here for the month of August. Okay, let's go look at September. 4 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so what I like about this, if it was in the upright, it would talk about holding on to your money so tight because you're afraid to not have enough, which is the wrong thing to do, because you give off the vibe that I don't have enough and money is scarce and I'm not gonna, make it through. So what ends up happening, because you give off that vibe, you're just gonna keep attracting situations and scenarios where you're not gonna feel like you have enough. But in the reverse, this talks about almost kind of like the other side. Maybe you're being very generous, and that's not a bad thing. I totally get it. So when you finally make it, when you become abundant, it's such a natural instinct for someone who is loving and caring to want to share with everyone, to want to bring up all their loved ones with them. And there's nothing wrong with that. But be mindful about it. Be, within your limits when you're spending. Don't spend money you don't have. That's all I'm going to say. It's just a little bit of a warning. Like, absolutely take care of the people you love, but don't overspend. Don't, overgive, because I can see that you're a very loving, caring, empathetic person. And this could just mean, maybe you get like a financial advisor that also helps you invest your money in a smarter way. And not to say that you can't do that yourself, but sometimes, it helps to have a second opinion. And, you're making sure that the wealth is there for you and your loved ones long term, that you're not just blowing through it. And I think that's sound advice. So September. Okay, let's go look at October. 10th month. The Tower in the reverse. Okay, so the Tower talks about, now in the reverse, this is kind of almost fearing this change. So in the upright, it's kind of a shakeup of our foundation. And that's another thing. So 4 of Pentacles in the upright is also building your foundation when it comes to wealth. And this could actually be pointing to the fact that you might have some limiting beliefs around wealth. So here's how I see it, okay? You maybe not have had always a very prosperous lifestyle. Growing up, maybe there wasn't enough to go around. Maybe there wasn't enough at the end of the month to pay all the bills, and your parents were really stressed out over cash. And so you kind of absorbed all of that, right? All of that energy. So now when you hit it big, and you're successful and you have the money and you start being really over generous with other people, part of that could also mean like maybe you're self-sabotaging because your norm has always been to not feel like you've had enough. So you almost overgive and you kind of make reckless decisions to lose your money so that you're back into that mindset or energy of not having enough or struggling to get more. And then you'll be successful again and you'll again repeat this cycle. And so that's something to reflect on, because this tower talks about having a shaky foundation that crumbles down, and kind of just something you thought was permanent is taken away from you, and you don't understand how that could have happened. And sometimes it's, self-sabotage. Sometimes it's limiting beliefs that we didn't know we had. And so we learned that lesson the hard way by perhaps, overgiving and losing our wealth, and then rebuilding it, and then realizing, hey, why did I do that? It's easy for me to, not maybe easy, but I have the dedication and the work ethic to build my wealth. Maybe I should put that same dedication and work ethic into keeping my wealth, not in the hoarding way that feel like you don't have enough, but making smart decisions, giving within my means, living within my means, making sure that, my loved ones are taken care of, I'm taken care of into old age. So that could be like something that's for being warned to you right now to avoid, to avoid this, just like we avoid feeling like we're not good enough and we jump on this opportunity to make money. Let's avoid oversharing and being reckless with our money so we avoid this tower moment of our wealth maybe being taken away from us, and not, willingly giving, like wanting this, but like a lesson that the universe is trying to teach us about the energy of money, and how maybe our limiting beliefs and the way we were brought up as a child has an effect on how we have a relationship with money, and how when we do get it, we kind of do things to lose it again in order to make it again. That's just something that's come up for me. Oh my God, I love this card for you. Ah! Okay, so that's Octave November December. Okay, I always have to do in French. I don't know why. I guess first language you learn, it kind of affects you that way. So High Priestess, I love this card for you to end the month with. Am I doing that properly? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, this is November. Beautiful. Okay. November, the High Priestess. This is all about tuning and tapping into your intuition so that you are making decisions from a place of introspection, of wise wisdom, of, intelligence, and not only the kind of intelligence that you learn in books, but she gets her knowledge by tapping in within. It's almost like a psychic card. It's tapping into dream states. It's tapping into getting messages from your angels and your guides. It's tapping into understanding your own intuition, understanding how to read the signs that your intuition, gives you, like the feelings you get. It's subtle, it's subtle language intuition. And we have to be still and introspective in order to hear that intuition and not dismiss it or ignore it or drown it out by, you know, the busy life that we kind of live in the modern world, right? So give yourself time for tapping into this divine feminine energy, and this doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. We all have masculine and feminine, as I mentioned, at the start. So divine feminine is all about receptive energy. Divine masculine is all about action. But if you're all just action without the receptivity of the wisdom, the intelligence, the know-how, the intuition, the planning, the idea that comes to you, and you're just acting, of course you're going to have moments where you're going to have tower moments and everything comes crumbling down because you acted without knowledge. You got to have both sides, and our society really praises productivity and action, but that rest and rejuvenation and introspection is just as important. And all of the, people that you see that are really ultra, successful understand that, they meditate, they, go on like retreats, they do, all sorts of things to tap into their intuition. And that's, accessible to all of us, but we don't, of course, all have the same, access to going to do retreats or, hiring a yogi to teach us how to do meditations. This work is self-work. But what I love about it is that anyone can do it. Anyone can have a corner of their home where it's their quiet space, where it's just meant for them. You start small, 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, where you just sit in quiet and stillness. And eventually you build on that practice in a way that feels right to you as you gain more insight into yourself as to how things work for you, how you can tap into your own intuition. And there's so many, free information about how to meditate, on YouTube, on the internet. So nothing is stopping you from tapping into this. I hope that you look into that, because it looks like you're really primed. I mean, you're listening to a tarot reading, so you are someone who believes in that feminine energy of tapping into your abilities, the ones that are not visible on the surface, your intuition, your ability to receive messages in dream state. All right, let's get you one last card. Nine of Swords in the reverse. I love this. So releasing all the things that no longer serve you, releasing thought patterns that no longer serve you, limiting beliefs around your relationship with money, around what is possible for you, your self-worth, releasing all the things that cause us anxiety, that causes us fear, that, keeps us kind of stuck in one place, that keeps us behind where we're meant to be going. And so I love that for you, releasing all of it. And I think you're going to be able to get there because of that introspection work that you do, because of you connecting with your intuition, understanding what you need to heal, actually shedding light on your thought patterns, the way you feel, the way you react, and questioning those things, and wondering, like, why do I do the things that I do? Why do I react the way that I do? Why do I feel the way that I do? And getting the help that you might need in order to do that healing. So this could also be a card to, kind of say maybe therapy is the right way to go. Maybe energy healing is the right way to go. I'm not a professional, so take it if it resonates, but that's definitely a card of healing, a card of releasing whatever's been holding you back. And I love that for you. Okay, let's get you some oracle cards. That's really lovely. I'm going to get you this deck, the Sacred Self-Care Oracle, because I feel that for you. I feel there might be, how to tap into this intuition. Like, what would specifically work for you, group 3? And so let's see what your messages would be. Okay. Like I said, the more you work on your intuition, the more you see what works for you. It's about taking those first steps. But let's get you some clarity. Make a vision board. Family. And create art. I love that. The vision board can be all these 3 things. Like, I kind of enjoy that because your vision board can be an artistic like endeavor. It can feel like that. Maybe you paint the things or draw the things that you love, take photography, pictures of the things that motivate you. Maybe it is family, and especially with this 10 of Pentacles and where was it? The Knight of Cups. This feels like you do have loved ones. You have a lot of people that you really care about in your life. Use them as your motivation. So you make this vision board. You put on all of the things that you want to call into your life, that you want to see in your life. And you put this somewhere prominent, so you look at it every morning or every night, often, right? And put pictures of your family up here, make it an artistic endeavor. Also, spend time with your loved ones, especially, I love this card because I feel like she's spending time with a child. Now, you could have a child, or you could have maybe a friend that has a child, or nieces and nephews, things like that. The reason I mention that is that children are closer to source, right? They haven't been bogged down by all the programming by society that we have as adults. So they feel like the world is their oyster. Everything is possible. And I'm talking about, of course, children who are in loving, supportive, caring families, right? So, and I don't mean to trigger anyone if that is not the experience that you've had. But those children really ignite that manifestation capability within us, that idea that everything is possible, that they are worthy of everything. Because I don't know if you've been around a lot of children, but it's like they have like specialized PR teams. It's like, I want this thing, and then they, if you say no the first time, they just look at that as a challenge, and then their like little PR team comes into their minds, and then they talk about all of the features and reasons why they should get it, and how they deserve it, and what they're going to do, and how amazing it's going to be. And it's like they're relentless. And so be that way for yourself. Be your own hype team. Be your own motivational team, where when the things that you want come into your mind, you get that intuitive hit, that insight of what you want to call in, put it on your board and become your hype team, of always reminding yourself of why you want it, how you're worthy of it, how you trust that God, the universe, will deliver it if you take the steps to heal your own, limiting beliefs, heal in a way that you kind of step out of your own way, that you understand that you're not going to put up barriers, you're not going to self-sabotage against all the things that you want. Let's get you a final card here. put your plant inside. The answers are there for those who look. Unbelievable. We're talking about intuition nonstop in this reading, and that's what it is. It's look for the answers. They're there for those who look. Whether it's within you, whether it's through therapy, through different modes of energy work, through introspection, through art, through spending time with family, through making this vision board, you might get so many insights about things that you want for yourself that you didn't even know you wanted. Um, and you're making it clear, you're focusing all of that energy into this endeavor. I love this reading for you. I hope this resonated. If it did, please give me a like. And if you so feel inclined, go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more pick a card readings.